what? Today we're going to be making cornbread, and this is one of my favorite cornbread recipes. It's a one bowl method, easy to make in a snap. You'll be enjoying your cornbread. And as usual, if you want the full recipe to this cornbread, I have the link below. You visit my blog, you can subscribe to my blog and to this channel so that whenever I have new recipes, you'll be one of the first persons to know. And you have the ability to print the recipe from my blog. So let's go ahead and get this cornbread started. I'm using a 9-inch round baking pan, and the first thing we're going to do is to spray this pan and get it out of the way. Spray the pan lightly, and then these are the ingredients that we're going to be using. 1 cup of flour, all-purpose flour, 1 cup of cornmeal, yellow cornmeal, 3½ teaspoons baking powder, 2/3 cup of granulated sugar. I'm going to be using 1/3 cup of vegetable oil or canola oil, and 1 large egg, 1/4 or 1/2 teaspoon salt. I usually go with the 1/2. And then I have 1 cup of milk in here. So, and then to add to that, this is the ingredient I use at the very last, and this is sour cream. We're going to use 1/4 cup of sour cream. Don't buy the low fat. If you want to use sour cream, use the whole fat one, full fat sour cream. Even the milk I'm using here is whole milk and not 1% or 2%. I use the whole products when I make my bread. I like to use my glass bowl. It's transparent so that you can see the ingredients that I will be mixing in the bowl. And today I'm also going to be using my whisk. The whisk is very good for this recipe. It makes the batter very creamy, so I use my whisk when I'm going to add the first set of ingredients to the mixing bowl. I'm going to go with the flour, and then we'll add the cornmeal. We'll add the sugar, the baking powder, and the salt. I like to whisk all of that together before adding the wet ingredients. As I mentioned before, this is a very simple recipe. You can have this done in no time and enjoy your cornbread. Next step is to add the liquid ingredients. We'll start with the milk. 1 cup of milk goes in there. Then I will add the 1/3 cup vegetable oil or canola oil if you desire. And I'm going to add the 1 egg. I've already slightly beaten the egg. I'm going to add 1 egg to this recipe, to the dry ingredients. Now, then I'm going to use my whisk and just mix this all together. This recipe is very, very easy. It takes you no time to make. You whisk this, and then you add the 1/4 cup sour cream. You add a 1/4 cup sour cream. As you know, I don't like to leave anything. I'm going to use my finger. I'm going to take everything out of there. My hands are clean. This is mine. Yep. And then I'm going to do that. And we're going to whisk this until everything is fully combined in this bowl. As I'm showing you here, we'll whisk until everything, and you don't have to whisk for long. You see there? See how that batter is creamy and smooth? That's what you're looking for. Don't overbeat. This is what you're looking for. It's ready to go. My oven is already preheating at 350 degrees. I'm going to bake this bread at 350 degrees. I'm already preheating my oven. So now we're going to pour the batter into this already prepared baking pan. It's a 9-inch round baking pan, and that's what I'm using for this recipe. I'm also going to use the help of my spatula because I need to, scoop things out of there real good. So what we're going to do right now is just pour this. See how well it's pouring? And I'm going to use my spatula to just scrape everything out of there. I don't like to waste my ingredients when I bake. I scrape down everything. Everything I scrape down. You don't want to waste your ingredients, right? So scrape it down. So I'll just wait until the oven is ready. It's fully preheated at 350 degrees Fahrenheit, and then we can start. So before putting this in the oven, I just wanted to show you something that I do all the time when I bake. Not for every recipe, but I like to use this sheet in the oven. Set the baking pan in there. It helps to distribute the heat and to keep it from baking too fast. So this is something that I do, and I'm going to put this on the lower rack for the first maybe 15-20 minutes, and then for the rest of the time I'm going to transfer it to the top rack. So there we go, on the lower rack first for the first 15 to 20 minutes, and the remaining time we're going to remove it to the top rack. I'm going to bake at 350 degrees, and it's going to bake for about 30 minutes, give or take. There you go. The bread is just about ready to get out of the oven. Yeah, the bread is out of the oven. As you can see, golden, golden, golden cornbread. This is exactly the cornbread that I'm going to enjoy today. I'm going to leave this sitting out here for about 10 minutes to allow it to rest, and then I will set it on a rack and allow it to cool for a little bit. I like my cornbread warm initially, so I'm going to allow it to cool not too long, because of course I want to enjoy this cornbread. There you go. The bread is ready. The golden, delicious cornbread. The smell in here is awesome. It's very, very nice. Yeah, and I've put it on a plate, and we're going to slice it and see how it looks on the inside. I am pretty sure it looks very, very good on the inside. Well done. And just like I said, and I'm telling you guys, this recipe is now my favorite cornbread recipe. One bowl, easy to make. Make it in no time. Thanks for watching.